Have you ever been abandoned for feeling too much, for loving too deeply, for caring so intensely that the world couldn't bear the weight of your emotion? There are moments in our lives when we give so much of ourselves, so much of our heart, that the world can't handle the truth we carry. It isn't a flaw to feel. It isn't weakness to care. It is, in fact, the truest form of strength. The bravest of hearts endure the greatest suffering, not because they are fragile, but because they are capable of feeling on a scale so vast that only those with similar depth can even comprehend it. But this world is not built to cherish the sensitive soul. No, it thrives on the indifferent, the cold, the logical. Emotions are seen as a vulnerability, and love is often used as a weapon. So what happens when the deepest, most pure-hearted individuals are left alone with their emotions? They begin to turn inward. They begin to look at the world, to question the very nature of the relationships they thought were their anchor. And that's when the transformation begins. The world can be cold, but those who are abandoned for their warmth often become the coldest of all. And it's not because they wanted to freeze themselves, it's because they were left no choice. The world taught them that vulnerability was a weakness, that love was a liability. The very act of caring too much made them an outcast. And so they became what they feared the most: distant, detached, untouchable. Not out of choice, but because they had learned through pain that the price of deep emotion was often isolation. But here's the truth. The coldness you feel now was once a sanctuary. It was a defense mechanism that emerged from the wounds of your past. It was the only way to protect the rawness of your soul when it was exposed to the cruelty of a world that had no patience for the soft-hearted. And while it may feel like your heart has hardened, you must understand that the essence of your sensitivity is still there, buried under the ice. The coldness you wear is not permanent. It is simply a reflection of how much you've had to endure and how much you've been misunderstood. The war within, embracing both sides. Inside of you, there's a battle that rages on. It's a war between who you are and who the world has forced you to become. You long to be open, to love without fear, to give yourself to others without worrying that you'll be left behind. But the scars from past betrayals, from being abandoned for feeling too deeply, make it almost impossible to trust. You've been burned before. You've seen how love can turn to ashes, how trust can turn into betrayal. And so you build walls, you build them high, you build them thick, and for a time they keep the world at bay. But those walls also keep you from feeling the warmth of human connection. The question becomes, what will you do with this coldness? Will you allow it to define you? Will you let it isolate you, make you hard and unfeeling, or will you learn to use it as a tool for transformation? The truth is, both sides of you exist. There's the warmth of your soul, the tenderness of your heart. But there's also the coldness, the detachment, the emotional armor you've built to protect yourself. Neither side is inherently good or bad. The warmth of your soul connects you to others, but the coldness of your detachment allows you to protect yourself from further harm. Both are necessary, but the power lies in your ability to control them. You can't live in one extreme forever. You can't stay in the cold, nor can you live in the burning heat of vulnerability. You must find balance. The power of embracing duality. Carl Jung, the great philosopher and psychologist, spoke often of the integration of the shadow, the parts of ourselves that we suppress, deny, or ignore. The coldness you now feel is part of your shadow, but so is the warmth of your soul. Both exist within you, and the key to personal growth is accepting both. You must embrace the entirety of who you are, not just the pieces that are easy to love or understand. When you integrate the shadow, when you stop running from the parts of yourself that you have rejected, you begin to access the full power of your being. It's only by acknowledging the darkness inside of you that you can truly step into the light. By embracing both your warmth and your coldness, you become whole. And when you are whole, you can navigate the world with a new kind of power, a power that doesn't come from emotional detachment, but from emotional sovereignty. Emotional sovereignty is the ability to control your emotions without being controlled by them. It is the power to feel deeply, but not to be overwhelmed. It is the ability to remain grounded in your sense of self, no matter what the world throws at you. When you embrace both the cold and the warmth inside of you, you no longer fear vulnerability. You understand it. You know its value, its strength, and you wield it like a weapon. The coldest people are the most powerful. There's a reason why the coldest people often hold the most power. It's not because they don't care. It's because they've learned how to care without being consumed. They've learned how to love and give, but to also protect themselves from the dangers of overextension. They've learned that power comes not from giving everything away, but from reserving some of yourself, from keeping some pieces hidden away just for you. They've mastered the balance between openness and self-preservation. And that balance is where true power lies. They aren't cold because they don't care. They're cold because they care so much that they've learned how to control what they give. They've learned how to put their energy into the things that matter most and protect themselves from the things that drain them. And so they become unshakable, untouchable, not because they don't feel, but because they've learned to master their emotions and their energy. They understand that to lead, to influence, to create real impact in this world, they cannot afford to be at the mercy of their emotions. They must remain calm in the storm, rooted in their purpose, unwavering in their vision. This is the secret of the coldest people. They are not emotionally distant, they are emotionally intelligent, and through that intelligence, they wield power. If you are one of the coldest people in the room, understand this. You were once abandoned because you felt too much. But you must also understand that your coldness is not a curse. It is the result of survival. And now you must choose. Will you let it keep you isolated, detached from the world? Or will you use it to empower yourself? Will you integrate the warmth that once made you vulnerable, the warmth that you've kept hidden away for so long, and merge it with the coldness that has protected you? Will you allow yourself to feel deeply but not be consumed by it? The coldest people are the most powerful not because they don't care, but because they care in a way that transcends weakness. They've learned that true power comes not from giving everything away, but from knowing what to hold back, what to protect, and what to share. Your strength lies not in how much you give, but in how much you retain. The coldness you feel now is not a prison. It is the key to your liberation. When you understand the true power of emotional sovereignty, you'll no longer fear feeling too much. You'll embrace it, knowing that you are the master of your emotions, not the other way around. The coldest people didn't always know how to control their emotions. They were once left to freeze in their own vulnerability. But through their pain, they learned the most valuable lesson of all, how to protect their hearts without closing them off completely. Now, you have the same opportunity. You have the power to embrace your emotions, your warmth, your vulnerability, and transform them into the strength that others will never understand. And so you rise. You rise from the ashes of abandonment, stronger than before. You rise not because you are unfeeling, but because you are in control of what you feel. You rise not because you are cold, but because you are the one who decides when to open your heart and when to keep it closed. You rise, and in that rise you become the most powerful version of yourself. The world can never abandon you again, because you've learned to never abandon yourself. It's easy to forget that within each of us there lies a warrior, a force of nature that once lived with fire, with purpose, and with a sense of invincibility. This warrior is often buried beneath layers of fear, of pain, and of self-doubt. But it is never truly gone. It waits. It waits for you to awaken it, to remember who you are. The warrior inside of you was never meant to be a passive observer of life. It was meant to rise, to lead, to shape the world around you. When the warrior within you awakens, it isn't with the loud clash of a sword or the roar of battle. It awakens with quiet confidence, with the knowledge that you have already survived your toughest battles. It awakens when you stop questioning your worth and begin to trust the strength you have cultivated over a lifetime. It's in the moments of silence, of stillness, that the warrior speaks. And it tells you one thing above all else. You are capable of far more than you have ever allowed yourself to believe, facing your fears and transforming them. To awaken the warrior within, you must first face your fears, not the surface level ones that are easy to overcome, but the deep-rooted fears that have shaped your identity. These are the fears that keep you small, that tell you you're not enough, that you can't make it. These fears are the stories you've told yourself for years, the ones that have convinced you that you don't deserve greatness, that you aren't worthy of the life you dream of. But fear is a liar. It tells you stories of inadequacy, of weakness, of impossibility. But when you look closely, fear is nothing more than a shadow, a figment of your mind, trying to keep you in the dark. It's like a monster that shrinks in size the moment you turn the light on. When you face fear head on, it loses its power over you. When you walk through your fears, you realize that there is nothing standing in your way but your own belief in limitation. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be courageous in the face of fear. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward even when fear is present. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah 41:10. These are the words that will fuel your warrior spirit. When you walk through fear with the knowledge that you are never alone, when you understand that you are always upheld by a higher force, fear loses its grip on you. You are not defined by your fears. You are defined by how you rise in spite of them. The power of intentional action. There is a subtle but profound difference between wishing for a better life and taking action to create it. Many people dream of greatness, of success, of freedom, but they are unwilling to do the work that is required to make those dreams a reality. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions. But the truth is this: there is no perfect moment. There is only the moment you choose to act. Intentional action is the bridge between desire and fulfillment. It is the understanding that you hold the power to shape your destiny, not through waiting, but through doing. Every single day is a new opportunity to take one step forward. Every single action, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you want to live. Consider the story of Nehemiah, who rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem after they had been destroyed. The task seemed insurmountable. The obstacles seemed too great. But Nehemiah didn't wait for the perfect time or for a miraculous intervention. He acted, he led with intention, with purpose, and with the belief that his actions mattered. And through his steady, unwavering work, the walls were rebuilt. The God of heaven will give us success. Nehemiah 2:20. This wasn't just a prayer. It was an affirmation of action. Nehemiah trusted that his efforts, backed by faith, would lead to success. You are Nehemiah. The walls you need to rebuild are within you. The life you dream of is waiting for you to take action. And while it may not happen overnight, each step you take brings you closer to the person you were meant to be. Stop waiting for external circumstances to change. Change the internal circumstances first. Build the walls of your life brick by brick with intentional action. The true meaning of strength: we've been conditioned to believe that strength means physical power, dominance, or control. We admire those who seem unshakable, those who appear invulnerable to life's challenges. But real strength isn't in the ability to dominate or overpower. True strength is found in resilience. It is found in the ability to bend, to endure, and to rise every time life knocks you down. True strength is the ability to hold your ground, even when the world is trying to break you. The story of David and Goliath is one of the most iconic examples of strength. David was a young shepherd, small and seemingly powerless. Goliath was a giant, a warrior with years of experience and strength. Yet David didn't rely on physical power. He relied on faith, strategy, and the strength of his belief. You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. 1 Samuel 17:45. David's strength was not in his size or his weaponry. It was in his unwavering faith and his ability to face a giant with nothing but a sling and a stone. You are David. You are facing giants in your own life, whether it's doubt, fear, failure, or external circumstances. But the key is this: your strength does not lie in the obstacles, but in your ability to rise above them. You don't need to be bigger than the challenges. You need to believe that you are stronger than they are. The path of transformation. You are not the person you were yesterday, nor are you the person you fear you might become. You are on the path of transformation. Every trial, every setback, every heartbreak is part of your evolution. You are constantly growing, constantly learning, constantly shedding the old layers of yourself to reveal something greater. The Bible teaches that all things work together for good to them that love God. Romans 8:28. Your struggles are not meaningless. They are shaping you. They are forging your character. They are making you the person you were always meant to be. You may not see it now, but every challenge is a step toward your highest potential. Your transformation is a process. It doesn't happen in a moment. It happens over time. And sometimes it's painful. But the pain is not your enemy. It is the fire that forges you. Just as gold is refined in fire, so too are you refined through adversity. It is not in the moments of comfort that we grow. It is in the moments of struggle, of discomfort, of challenge that we transform. And when you look back on your journey, you will see that the pain was not a punishment, but a necessary part of your evolution. You will see that the fire that once threatened to consume you was the same fire that forged your strength, embracing your divinely given purpose. There is no higher calling than to live in alignment with your divine purpose. Your purpose is not something you must find, it is something you must uncover. It is the calling that has always been within you, waiting for you to hear it. Your life is not random, and neither are your struggles. Every moment, every setback, and every triumph is part of the grand design of your purpose. You were created with a unique mission. You were not meant to live for the approval of others or to chase empty success. You were created to fulfill a purpose that is greater than yourself. And when you align with that purpose, when you live authentically, you become a beacon of light to others. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, Jeremiah 1-5. You are not an accident. Your existence is intentional, divinely ordained. Your life has meaning. And when you step into that meaning, when you embrace your purpose, you unlock a power within you that the world cannot touch. And so the warrior within you rises, not out of pride, but out of a deep knowing that you are meant for something greater. You are here to lead. You are here to serve. You are here to transform the world and to transform yourself along the way. And as you walk this path, remember this: you are never truly alone. The divine spark within you will always guide you, will always lift you, will always empower you to rise. Your purpose is waiting for you, and the world is waiting for you to step into your power. So rise and claim your destiny. Now, you stand at the precipice of everything you were always meant to become. The world is wide open before you, filled with infinite possibilities, and it's time for you to step into your truth. No more doubts, no more fear, no more hesitation. You've faced the darkness, you've looked into the abyss, and you've come out stronger. You've embraced the warrior within, the divine light that burns inside you, and now you must walk forward undeterred, unwavering, and unshaken by anything that lies ahead. For too long, you may have waited for the world to tell you who you are. For too long, you may have been waiting for permission to step into your power, to embrace your purpose. But I'm here to remind you, the world has no authority over your destiny. It does not dictate your worth. Your power lies in your own hands, in the choices you make, and in the unwavering belief that you are here for a reason. And in this moment right now, you get to decide. You get to decide to rise higher than you've ever risen before. You get to decide to walk with purpose, with clarity, with conviction. You get to decide that no obstacle, no challenge, no setback will ever deter you again. You are a force of nature, and no one can silence that truth. Remember this: the coldest people were once abandoned for feeling too much, but they didn't let that abandonment define them. They turned their wounds into wisdom, their scars into strength, and their pain into power. They became the very thing the world feared: a soul that had been tested, that had endured, that had risen. And now you have the same opportunity. So rise, not in spite of your struggles, but because of them. Rise because you have felt the weight of your own heart and you have chosen to bear it with grace and strength. Rise because you've learned that the greatest power is not in never falling, but in getting back up every time you do. There will be moments when the world tries to shake you. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when you question your path, your purpose, or your worth. But know this: you are stronger than the storms that rage against you. You are made of a strength the world cannot break, and you are destined to leave an imprint on this earth that can never be erased. Your time is now. The world has been waiting for the person you were always meant to be. And that person, the one who has weathered the storms, the one who has risen from the ashes, the one who knows that they are divine, is finally here. The coldest people once got abandoned for feeling too much. But it is in feeling too much that you discover your true power. It is in loving deeply, in living boldly, in embracing every part of yourself, the light, the dark, the cold, and the warm, that you unlock your full potential. You are the warrior. You are the creator of your destiny. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will stop you from becoming everything you were always meant to be. So stand tall, embrace your strength, walk with your head high, your heart open, and your purpose clear. You have been awakened, you have been forged in the fires of life, and now you are unstoppable. This is your moment. This is your time to rise. The world will never be the same once you do.